so real quick and briefly, we're gonna talk about Jacquees, y'all. And y'all remember.
Hold up. Okay, guys, so we got Jacquees, the king of R&B, who was arrested yesterday on charges of battery on a police officer and obstruction of a police officer. He has since been released on a $40 down bond. Yeah, he put $40 down to get out, but his mugshot has gone viral because he got a big fat lip. It looked like he got beat up by the police or they arrested the wrong person. But for whatever reason, Jacquees is in bad shape.
Now,
Don't get on Queen.
Listen, y'all remember, was this a couple years ago? He was saying, or maybe, I don't know, last year or the year before, and he was saying how he was a king of R&B.
Right.
So he was on an interview and he said basically that the internet had hate for him for saying that he was the king of R&B of our generation.
Right.
And I was in the comments and people still saying like, you still not the king of R&B, like you make good music but you just not the king.
Yeah.
And
but
he just felt like.
But if you listen to, if people really watch that interview that he did with Shay Shay, he even told him that he didn't even want to name his album yet. Yeah. He didn't even want to say that. But his people, or the people around him, said, look, if you don't do it now, somebody else gonna do it. And they gonna call it, because ain't nobody did that. Ain't nobody called their album the king of R&B. Nobody has did it. Yeah. Not even the kings of R&B. So what he did was he spoke something that no one else had did. That's what he was saying. And he was like, man, I seen the reaction I got from it. And the people around him seen the reaction he got from it. And he was like, man, I don't want to name my album that. And they was like, nah, look, if you don't name it this now, the actual king or somebody who proclaims to be the king is gonna name their album it. It's gonna say that they are that. So it's like somebody else gotta say that they the king too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a lot of one thing about it, everywhere else around the world, I seen nobody else around the world do it. It's a lot of people in Atlanta, rappers and singers, they call themselves the king. Shout out to T.I. He is always called, he from Atlanta. Jacquees is from Decatur. I think that's east Atlanta, that's like further east. And he called himself the king of R&B. I don't see the big, like if he feel that highly of himself, then he should do that. R. Kelly, he in a bad situation, that don't take away from his music. But again, Queez wasn't saying he's just, oh man, the king of R&B, he's just better than. He said for this generation. And if you think about it, not trying to be like, if you think of this generation, cause I'm not considering Chris this generation. Chris a legend, like he already, like he was around when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Queez is like the, if you ask me, Queez is like the 2020. You know what I'm saying, for that generation, 2020s and up. Right. Not for, you know, so when Chris came out, yeah, I don't even want to say it. They're gonna tell our age.
5, 6, 7.
Yes. So yeah, Chris is like from the mid 2000s. I don't think it was 2005. He pushed it on that one. Yeah.
What was it?
Had to be like
2008.
Had to be like, yeah, I was
saying I remember seeing Chris Brown when I was in middle school.
Exactly. That. Oh damn, yeah. Well,
Let's tell his age. Tell him my age.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, I think he said, man, he was just talking about for this generation, and then the internet ran with it.
We ain't mean no harm, but you know, the internet, they gonna take it there, and they made it clear that it said that he wasn't.
Yeah, but that's just, and again, it's just the internet, like.
The internet gonna get you.
You know how many people still bought his stuff? You know how much stuff still rip? And I don't care what nobody say. When he remix something, he gonna do it. Cause if you ask me, that LMA, bro, LMA no. That's why she put up so much slack about it, man. Dude, you can't deny his talent, man. In Atlanta, they be doing their thing in Atlanta. Like, you can't deny none of their talent out there. Like, they realize and they go for what, you know what I'm saying? They go for whatever they really believe in. Like, they really go for it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, I'm with him. If he feel like he the king of R&B for this generation, man. With all kudos to you, bro. Like, do your thing for real, cause you gotta believe in yourself. Nobody else, like, you see how many people don't want to believe in you, don't want to accept it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like let's just say, it. Okay, when Michael Jackson passed, he's the king of pop. Mm-hmm. So, okay, 40 years later, are we still gonna be calling Michael Jackson the king of pop?
Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It has to be. You have to. I mean, even the kings and queens, they have to pass down their crown.
They being that. Listen,
like, it's just
I don't know.
crazy.
It's something about them.
Like,
listen.
come on now. Like, you gotta pass down your crown. You can't just sit there and say like, "Oh, I'm this for that." No, yeah, the king of soul. Are we gonna still say James Brown, the king of soul?
I ain't seen no soul say that.
Come on now. We just can't, and the man put I don't know what you would call it. He said of this generation.
Yeah.
He didn't say of y'all generation.
Yeah,
so the ones that's 30 and 40 getting up under there, man, come on, man. The man said of this generation. He remixed Avant and if I ain't mistaken, it's a platinum song. Like, I know you wanna come on now. Back in the 80s, that was their song. But when he did it, he made it. If you ask me, he made it
his own.
He made his own. But yeah, I gotta say he made it better.
Right. Yeah.
For this generation, and that's all music. That's especially R&B and hip hop. That's all it is. Like a lot of remixing and doing. Making it your own, being creative with it. That's all cool. Doing being creative. So I don't like people when they hate on. Man,
let him do his
young
thing.
cat, like, man, let him do his thing, bro. Like, it's rare to see people even make it to that level.
Honestly.
Come on, bro. Like, to be able to do that, then he signed with Cash Money. Like,
yeah, he's doing big things.
He's doing big things, bro. Cash Money has never had a singer. Ever. They've only had rappers. So for him to be embraced by a independent label that only had rappers is big in itself. So if nobody never give him his credit, man, we're gonna go give him his flowers over here. I feel like, man, he deserves his flowers. I think he did well so far for this generation.
Absolutely.